I'm Mary West on the Voice of the Foothills, AM 950 KAHI.
Yeah, we're going to Mount Howell, which is where we have a lookout. State of California owns 38 acres up there, and we've been doing a project up there to basically do forest restoration and reintroduction of low-intensity fire back into that natural environment. So as a good base comparison, if we run out to Robert's fire, we can see how low-intensity fire benefits the forest versus hot destructive fire, and what we can do to mitigate the effects of a wildfire that burns hot and destructive ahead of time, and then how that plays into what we call fire line suppression repair after a major event such as a Robert's fire. This material, if you notice, there's wildflowers are coming back in now. You start noticing, in this case, that's called a yellow pussy over here. You know, these flowers here are called blue dicks. You start looking up, you start seeing more and more wildflowers coming in. Look at the property behind you. Do you see any wildflowers or anything?
Well, no, because no sun's getting to them.
No sun's getting to them, and then if you look at the mountain here comparatively, look how much more green herbaceous material there is for the wildlife to feed on. And all
grasses.
Grasses, exactly. All different grasses and different things now coming in after the fire has gone through. This is low intensity fire. I was walking a little further. Talked about in the 1800s that California used to look like in the Sierra front. It was wide, it was open, the trees are properly spaced historically. And you know, historical trees per acre, you know, some as low as 15, upwards of 70 trees per acre is the historical norm. Now we're approaching up to 700 to 1,000 trees per acre on unmanaged properties. So as you look at the property here, you have that open glade park-like effect. And you see now if a fire comes through late this summer, when this grass is turned brown, it'll be a low intensity fire burning across. And the result is the trees don't die, the ground isn't sterilized. And again, we burned this a year ago, look how healthy it looks and how open the stand is. And again, this piece of property now, from a wildfire perspective, even though as dry as the summer will be, is really not even on the threat scale. Right, so the percentage of rain that may actually get to the ground in the case of this unmanaged piece of land right here is very low. So imagine you have a 1/2-inch rainstorm comes through. Just enough to start getting the ground wet, storm shuts off, blows out. Compared to this property, the rain will actually get into the ground, water soil. So properly managed property with open stands, more water becomes runoff that recharges our streams, our rivers, and filters and flushes out the entire drainage system. So again, 1 inch of rain over an acre, 27,000 gallons. 1 foot of rain over that same acre, almost 1/3 of a million gallons of water. Think of the millions of acres of the state of California that are now overgrown with vegetation, and that vegetation both drinks water and causes the water to evaporate out. So when you look at our need for water in the state of California, if we simply manage our vegetation, we'd have more water available for both the environment and for ourselves.
I'm Mary West on the Voice of the Foothills, AM 950 KAHI.